I think when you talk to a lot of fans, when you ask them about last season, and this could be a conversation you have with them 20 years from now, they aren't going to remember Kansas City.
Right,
They aren't going to remember hoisting that Big 12 trophy or any of the buzzer beater wins, the Naz long shots. They're going to remember UAB. That's going to haunt them just the same way that Iowa State team that accomplished so much ended up getting bounced by Hampton.
So is this season now better than last season, or do they need to win another game?
I that at least had a really good shot to defend the tournament title for a third straight time. The problem with Iowa State's season is they didn't really come close to doing any of those things.
Right.
So I think to a certain degree they've got to make up for lost time and exceed more expectations. And to think about the season too, I mean, you talk about the postseason and how expectations have changed. I mean, this was a team that a lot of people had said, this is a team that's going to have a run in March and could compete for a national title. Now the expectation has changed to, who knows?
Sweet 16.
Sweet 16 would be good.
I think Iowa State's more built for this sort of environment than they are for a conference season. With March Madness, you see these teams that have offensive diversity, good guard play, things of that nature. They got beat up in the conference season, and this sort of thing, teams have a day to scout them. And Iowa State can beat you with Burton. They can beat
in the flow of the game.
Well, and Iowa State just does so many different things with so much different diversity, too. I mean, you look at Niang, that's a guy he can play the 3, 4, 5. He can play the 1, 2. I mean, there was talk that when Monte Morris was hurt, depending how bad he was, George might be running the points. So there's really no way to prepare for Iowa State. I don't think you can go back and pick out one game film and say, okay, that's how Iowa State runs its offense, and that's how Iowa State does things. Maybe a little bit more this year, at least during the Fred Hoiberg era. I mean, it was so hard to prepare because he could adjust on the fly so much better than Steve Prohm could. But it's still a really tough, diverse team that, on a short turnaround, it's got to be pretty hard to, I guess, game plan and prepare for.
I think tomorrow's huge for Steve Prohm. I think more than any other college sport, that idea of program momentum is a thing in basketball. And so you go through the season, and you got to go into. I mean, and I'm not saying it's do or die or something.
Right.
But I'm talking you want to go if you're looking at a long-term view with Steve Prohm, you want to go into April and recruiting and stuff like that with your name still looking pretty good and coming off a good March Madness run. And then because we've talked before, we haven't because you guys don't like me enough to have me on.
Stop it now.
But you guys and Pete and the Cyclone fan base has talked about there's going to be a lot of rebuilding next year. So you hope that you can build a lot in the summer in terms of that 17 class.
Yeah.
And so I think this is big for him to go out into the offseason looking pretty good.
Zach, how